Good evening to those who listen. Another 1980s session, 1983. I'm waiting for it to come up on my TV so I can see if another. All right, 1980s session. All right, it's working. Get that off and let's start it up. All right, so we're at the year 1983. I have some people think I shouldn't be doing the 80s songs because they might be bad, but a lot of the 80s songs were innocent. I mean, I know there was a lot of bad songs, but it just brings back lots of good memories of my teenage years. So we're going to do the 1980s. All right, so 1983, let me get this set up. I always have to make sure the audio works first before I do anything. Let's get this set up over here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Right, where is it? What in the world? This one is, wait, over here, 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 and then there. And that should get it. All right, let's make sure we got the right screen. All right, so the last number one song of 1982 was also the first number one song of 1983. And again, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Give me just a second to get this caught up, and then we will get the show on the road. Almost there. All right, here we go. All right, the first number one song Oops, I'm the wrong one. I'm on the wrong one. All right, another possible Mandela effect. So apparently we got Men at Work, number one for 3 weeks. And then the next song takes over for 1 week. And then Down Under becomes number one again. Strange. I'm not sure about this one though, so I can't say it is a Mandela effect for sure. 16. And then I just started to drive. #1 for 2 weeks. Time. All right, the next song was #1 for 7 weeks, all the way through the last part of February, all through the whole month of March into April. 1 week at number 1, we have this song coming in from for Dexy's Midnight Runners. 1983. For just 1 week, it was, oops. Song was number one for at least 4 weeks on the charts. I remember seeing this movie in the theaters when it first came out. Sun Simulator. Did you guys check out? You guys check out the video I did on the Leave the World Behind? I'm telling you, all the scenes they showed of the sun, supposed sun, was the Sun Simulator. They showed the sun, over Earth, and they showed it from supposedly the view from the moon.
And supposedly the sun, it looked like the sun was closer to the earth than the moon was, for one. And then, of course, the sun was white. The sun was not round. It was all spread out, crazy looking. Here's a here's the thing. Do you guys remember when you were younger, the sun, when the sun used to go behind clouds, it would just disappear. And then you'd have to wait for the sun to come back out of the clouds to see the sun again. Now sun comes through the clouds. No, I call BS on that. That's the sun simulator. Or even though this is songs that are secular and off the world, please pass this live stream. I consider the best years of the 80s, 81 to 83. I like 1980 too, but 81 to 83 were the best years. And then the end of the 80s, 88, 89 was the worst of the 80s, but the 80s were the best. And even though they always said there was so much sex uh, and violence and stuff in the songs, the 80s were still more innocent than any other decade, I thought, besides maybe the 70s or the 60s. I remember you saying something about that back. I really do like Iron Maiden though, but yeah, I know that's like I don't know if they were considered devil, even though they had a lot of stuff that was about the 666, the number of the beast. But Bruce Dickinson was a great singer though. I did a thing where I did a bunch of songs with just fish stick names, and I did. I'll wait for this to go. 666, the number of the feast. Cod and salmon are caught from the deep sea. All right, I'm behind now. I gotta get back to this. Get back to this. Oh, this song was like number one forever. Oops. Here we go. This song was number one forever. And the whole month of June. Or wait, the whole month of July. Yep, that song pretty much controlled the summer. I don't know. This song was so overplayed, though. That's still it was a good song, but yeah, it was overplayed. It controlled all of August too. 8 weeks. Oops. Oh, wait, too much. Don't look. Close your eyes. Right, you can open them again. It makes it number one. All right, next check. I was at the first day of rock and roll. Huh? I was at the first day of rock and roll. Explain, please. Ryan, I know. The Police was your most hated band? I'll tell you guys a secret. Back in the 80s, the later 80s, I mean, I kind of backslid. Superdome. I wanted to see the Police on that tour, too, the Synchronicity tour. But of course, my parents were like, no, you can't go. It was in Chicago, so it was like a big city, and I was too young, 16. So I wasn't allowed to go. I think the Pretenders opened up for him, too. That would have been a really good concert. But anyway, let me say something about Iron Maiden. Back in 1989, when I was doing drugs, I went and saw them, Iron Maiden, on acid. It was one of the last times I did acid, too. But yeah, I was a bad boy for a couple of years. Just a couple of years, though. Everybody goes through that, I guess. All right, next. Oops, I'm on the wrong spot. Oops, wrong spot.
The next song was number 1 for 2 weeks. Gosh, I forgot already.
Yeah, 2 weeks, I think. Another song from the Flashdance movie. I believe Michael Sambella was just a one-hit wonder. 23rd. 23rd. Yep. Two of them. I know we had the one that was a X 2.8. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Something happened today to me, and I've had lots of people say, "Oh, there's no space." The sun's not 93 million miles away, which I don't think the sun is 93 million miles away either. But I don't know. Whenever they say there's some space weather going on, there's some CMEs coming in, something happens to me, man. Today, I was getting ready for work, and I don't know what happened. And suddenly, I was like, I felt dizzy, and I don't. I had to call in. It was terrible. And then I laid down, and I woke up like an hour and a half later, and I got up, and I was so dizzy, and I could not see straight. It was like my vision was way off. It was crazy. And it took me like hours. It was like some kind of weird spell was on me. It was weird. So something's happening. There might not be space and there might not be the sun, 93 million miles away. We might not have planets and all that stuff. But something's happening. It might not be the sun, but there is something happening. Maybe it's CERN or HARP or something. But something happened to me. And I mean, and when it happens, it's like you have no control over it, and it's like you have to lay down. It's been happening to me for a long time, ever since I really started doing this stuff. 2018, started in 2017, but 2018, all this stuff started happening to me. I'm gonna see if I can find that video. It was one of my first videos I did way, way, way back, and it was like a piece of the sun simulator breaks off. Part of the sun, I think I said part of the sun breaks off. I started right at the end of 2017. Yeah, it's weird, a lot of the people that I wound up finding on YouTube was all like weird random stuff. And I don't know how I found you. I don't know how I found a lot of the people, but they were all like, we're all like intertwined, at least talking about the same things, and most of the people that I'm subscribed
one of those big songs. This song is a good song, but they way overplayed it. And then they made all those weird remakes of this song. It was like, ugh. Some country coming in for the next 2 weeks. December of 1983. We got just one more song left of 1983. This is the last song of 1983, number one song, and it also is the very first number one song of 1984. It's at least 5 weeks on the charts.
That'll end December 31st. Yeah, I'm not doing this for money. Even when I was monetized, I didn't make much money. It was just like I was, made me make 100 or 200 bucks a month. Uh, I don't see a problem with somebody trying to make a little money in the, from people watching. But yeah, I never try to make money. But if you're there, it doesn't matter. They they say my videos are too controversial and harmful to people. Crystal Jam, welcome. God bless. Yeah, they're over 8 seconds. 4:12 in the afternoon. 16 hours. Yeah, 16 hours difference. Earth. Say every day. I like how Australia though is like opposite of what it is here. We're winter, not considered winter, yeah, but you guys are summer. Uh, it's been really mild winter here though. We're in the 40s right now, I think even. All right. That's gonna do it for 1983. Well, the 40s. Oh, Louisiana? Wow. Yeah, we've been getting in the 40s and then, 30s for lows. Nothing bad at all. All right, that's going to do it for the 1983. I deal with humidity here in Iowa. Wow. But we've had maybe like 3 inches of snow so far. That's it. We had one day where we got like 3 inches of snow. And one day we got like a half an inch, not even an inch. And we got cold a couple days, but everything else has been pretty mild for this time of year, for sure. Wow, 40s in Louisiana. That's pretty cold for Louisiana. All right, I always do this on
on my live streams. I go through a recap, I guess, of 70. What? Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. 30. Wow. To be 30 again. Wouldn't that be nice? All right. So here going through the 1983, all the number one songs from January to December. Man Eater, Hall and Oates, Down Under, Men at Work, Africa, Toto, Baby Come to Me, Patty Austin, wasn't it? And James Ingram, I believe, also. Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, Come on Eileen, Dixie's Midnight Runners, Beat It, Michael Jackson, Let's Dance, David Bowie, Flashdance, What a Feeling, Irene Cara, Every Breath You Take, The Police, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, Not These, This, that's another Mandela effect, Eurythmics, Maniac, Michael Sambello, Tell Her, Tell Her About It, Billy Joel, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Bonnie Tyler, Islands in the Stream, Dolly Parton, All Night Long, Lionel Richie, and Say, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Yeah, Africa. Wasn't that just one of the greatest songs? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, wow. For sure. Congratulations. My daughter just turned 14 on Thursday. So she's my youngest. Yeah, it is. Except the high parts. The high parts are hard. I'm glad you guys could join. Thanks for listening for sure. Yeah, I have 4 kids. So we're talking, I started late. I didn't have my first kid until I was 32. So I was a late bloomer on that. And I got let's see, Quentin, he's in January, so next month he'll be 24. So I got 24 to 14. So I got 24 and then well, not next month. And then in February, my second son will be 22. Wow. See, I don't think I'm going to have any grandkids. And I don't know if I should say this, but I could say it, I guess. And this is hard for me, but I'll say it. My oldest, he's gay bi. So I don't think he's going to have any kids ever. And, I still love him. I don't approve of, what he does, but that's part of, loving your kids. That's my warning. My alarm going off. I have to go pick him up from work. But I still love him just the same. So congratulations, guys. I mean, it's great to have, kids, and then it's also great to have grandkids too. So yes, that's awesome. I don't know if that'll ever happen for me. Probably not, but that's the way it is, I guess. All right. I gotta get going, though. All right, that was 1983. All the number one songs, just the number one songs. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. God bless. Thanks for listening. I'll do 1984. I'm still going to do the Christmas songs. I'm going to do the Christian Christmas songs, the top songs, Christian songs from 2023, and then my 80s songs. And then I'm going to really concentrate on just doing. Yes, thank you. It was nice. And then I'm just going to concentrate on, God, Jesus. All right. God bless. Good night.